I think I might have made a wrong turn in my life. The idea of collecting has existed for a very, very long time, such as every other thing that exists in the world. However, back in the ancient times of rock, collecting was most likely a term used to refer to collecting things, as in materials, stuff like that, you know, to maintain survival. Then some rat named Pat looked at a shiny rock one day and went,
"Oh, I think I'll keep this."
And boom! We have a hoarding problem. People now have been collecting things for eons, for 12,000 plus years. At least according to the first search result on Google. And yeah, it makes sense. There's some satisfaction in owning a ton of things of the same category and just having them for display and showing them off. Pat was onto something. He collected that rock for a reason. Whether it be glass cups, different types of spoons, shoes, clothing. Anyways, video game collecting is like those other collecting hobbies. Except, there's a new hole in your wallet and your body every week.
Thanks, come again.
You know, I don't think those were there last week.
So let's talk about it. Also, like, side note, there's no point to this video. I just wanted an excuse to talk about my chunky.
Part 1. The hobby.
I absolutely love this hobby. Just having an entire wall of not only the games I've collected over the years, as far back as nearly 13 or so years ago, which on its own helps serve as a time capsule of the types of games I was into back in the day, and how that evolved into what I'm into now. Now, I think one of the main things I'm asked whenever I show this stuff to anyone is how I'm able to afford any of this. Well, it's as straightforward as an answer can get. Firstly, like I said, most of this was collected over the years, so though it seems like plenty of games, most of this was collected, well, over the years, back when I was a kid and I was able to get away with buying whatever games I want. Well, as much games as a little derpy 2-year-old can get. But nowadays, I only really buy games whenever I can, more specifically when 2 of 3 things meet my criteria. 1.
We've got to have money.
Back then, I could just buy games all willy-nilly, but that isn't as possible nowadays, especially because of all that gross adult crap that's being introduced to me.
Number 2.
My game is on sale. Sometimes I can get amazing games for really great prices, making the collecting process not as pricey. Like those games you'd see in the Walmart aisle. You know the ones that have been out for a while and are like $20. It's a good deal. 3. It's a game I've really wanted or have waited for. I usually only get games that I want and pique my interest, and not just whatever is at the cheap Walmart section. Which completely contradicts what I just said.
Those games you'd see in the Walmart aisle.
But it helps me at least wiggle out the shovelware and the licensed games and make sure that my collection is at least somewhat clean. Yet one of them wiggled its way into my collection. You're lucky I like your show. That's the main reason my collection is as small as it is. Most games in this collection, as I already said a couple of times, are from my childhood. Plus, I only really got into the art of video game collecting specific late last year. But also, I only really get games that I want. Like I said, oh dear. Not only does it help give myself quality control, most of the time, but also it helps me not just buy things for the sake of collecting, which really helps me not spend too much money. And since I brought it up, let's go ahead and look at the actual collection.
Part 2. The collection.
Introducing the very important, really good, incredibly nice show. I might need to do a double take. This is my shelf. I like it. This is my favorite part of any collection. The way you display it. and I absolutely love my shelf. Just the way all the games are lined up with all the unique logos and titles radiating from the spines. It's so cathartic, and I end up organizing and categorizing my games in alphabetical order and console and size of the case. And it's just having all these games in its own category and being able to just pull it out and just look, it's enough serotonin for me to ascend. Though my room is not the biggest out there, it has just enough space for my one shelf. But because of it, my shelf shares room with most of my books, my controllers, and my board games. They're not very well placed apart from the books, but believe me, I prefer it this way than I did in my other place.
Ew. Crabs, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I straight up just had more room in my previous room, yet I never once bothered to get myself an actual bookshelf. And instead I went with these floating shelves, which are good, and I still use them for one of my other collections and some of my figures. But, God, this just looks awful. Plus, none of the games are alphabetical, and they're just placed as is. Now, there's nothing wrong with not being alphabetical, it's just something that I do, and I know most other collectors do. I know my friend Rose doesn't do it. But also, there's nothing wrong with burning your house down. So, when I eventually moved houses, twice, I decided I want to finally give my games its proper space. Thanks to an inspiration from a particular YouTube video I saw back a while, by Scott Lewis.
Hey y'all, Scott.
It finally gave me an idea to actually put in genuine effort in displaying my stuff in a way that wasn't such an eyesore, which explains the whole this. I ended up picking this bad boy at a thrift shop for just a measly 20 bones, and for what it is, it's really good. It's relatively sturdy for its price, so it's not a bad purchase, I'd say. At some point, I do want to get a smaller bookshelf, just put it next to this bookshelf, just so I can put my actual books in that bookshelf and make more space for this bookshelf for my games. Because as you can see, I'm running out, and oh, regardless, I love this shelf a lot. It's my pride and joy apart from the other collections. Actually, let me just get to the other stuff out of the way really quick since it's off topic. But damn, my brain likes this neatly organized in groups, and I'm loving it.
Part 2.5. The other collection. It ain't your mama's collection. It's the other collection.
Soundtracks, plastic, and manga, oh goody. So, collecting OST CDs is actually something I started doing not that long ago, way more recent than my video game stuff, maybe like 5 months ago, and it all started with another YouTube video, again, why I spent $1,000 on video game soundtracks by Yakko CMN. Great quality video aside, he went in depth as to why he started getting into collecting the soundtracks himself, and just how important and unique video game soundtracks are, and how each specific track is uniquely composed for every situation, every location, and characters. There's way more that goes into a game OST than you originally think, and I'm glad this is the video that helped me show me that. He also got to interview Darren Korb, which has been one of my favorite composers since I played Transistor a few years ago, and Ascended when I played Hades, and I am incredibly jealous. Watch the video, I'm just telling you what's at face value. But it definitely helped me get into collecting official game OSTs and CDs in general. I'll be getting more into specifics later, but I like how I have these displayed here on top of my keyboard. Really adds a lot to it. Then there's my manga collection, which I separated from my books just because manga have a more consistent look, and I wanted all of them to be in its own specific location, which is right on top of my desk. If I were to alphabetize these in my normal one, they'd be all over the place, and so I just went ahead and put them all in one single place, if you get my gist. Like a library. And lastly, my Eevee collection. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and yes, it's my entire personality now. Back off. Anywho, what part were we on before we psyched?
Part 3. The playing of the game.
I think the other question that I've gotten a lot is if I played every single one of my games. And well, this has a simple answer, and Look, if I were to divide the games that I've played to the ones that I haven't, it would look like this, which isn't all that bad, but now if we did the same to the games that I finished and the ones that I've left pending, there's a clear issue.
And then there's also my Steam and Switch digital items, but
I think one of the main issues most game collectors face is having any time to play most of these games, which is fair. Most of the time one has got to work and get the money to buy more games you want. Like, damn it, this is the same loop. But for me, apart from having to work, it's mostly because I have the attention span of a 5-year-old. Like, for example, I can't watch TV by myself anymore. I need to have my friends, my girlfriend, or my family to be there to put me in check. Not only because it's more funner to watch it with them, but also because if I don't have someone to talk to, I start to get distracted and immediately start doing something else. In comparison, I would pick up a game I would be really stoked to play for about a week straight, love it, and then forget about it until I realize I haven't finished it yet. It's sort of a cycle I end up having to go through that I really want to improve on at some point, and actually, to be fair, I have. Every now and then, I force myself and just finish whatever I have before buying anything new, which actually should be a fourth point that I didn't mention earlier with the 3 points. It's also a system that has honestly made me finish just some absolute bangers. From Papers, Please, a phenomenal and dark game about a border inspector having to choose between serving their oppressive tyrannical government or helping out a terrorist organization bent on helping them free the in-game fictional country of Arstatska. All the while playing an addicting and stressful game of spot the difference as you make sure you allow in the people with the right paperwork or else you'd face the consequences and lose money, not being able to feed and protect your family. Or you can say hello and let everyone in, it's your choice.
Okay, actually, maybe don't do that.
To Hylix, a trippy RPG with an amazing claymation art style that weeks after I finished it, I still have no idea what any of it means. The Steam page marks it clearly. It's an experimental recreational program that one's got experience at least once. There's also Crash 4, an amazing return of the orange marsupial in a tough but satisfying platformer. And Dona County, a short but fun romp where you play as a whole controlled by a raccoon. These plots are getting out of hand, I can't believe I just said that. And it has one of, if not the most chill soundtrack of all time. This stuff makes me so relaxed, it's insane, man.
hey, that's pretty good.
Ben Esposito, please release the OST on CD. I'll literally give you all my money, man. And Omori, a psychological horror RPG that I finished around a year ago, and this game is an absolute masterpiece. From its themes in dealing with untreated trauma and depression, to amazingly written characters and funny dialogue, to its cute-turned-disturbing art style, to its soundtrack, ranging from a Toho-inspired banger to a happy and cheerful song in the forest,
Yo!
to an absolutely terrifying song, to songs that hurt 10 times more after finishing the game.
What? You didn't think I was gonna show you, did you? Go play the game.
This is a game I absolutely recommend with my entire chest, and saying anything else would be a disservice to it. You must go into it blind. And this system, I'm so glad that I put it into place. If not, I would have never played this game. How can you take my word for it? I love this game so much, I pre-ordered the freaking calendar. Come on, take my word for it. And the $80 art book. So, yeah, just buy the game. It's on every major platform now. You have no excuse. Note, game does deal with major themes of depression and suicide as well as disturbing images throughout. So if that bothers you at all, then I guess you should sit this one out or at least play at your own discretion. And there's so much more stuff I can talk about. And honestly, if I didn't start collecting, I'd probably miss out on so many games with so many phenomenal stories with intricately crafted themes and messages that would have hit me in my heart more times than I can count. But now's the time I'll throw away the script, forget it, and just talk about my favorite parts of my collection.
Part 4. The raven about the game.
I recorded this section a lot of times, and each time I recorded it, it was always 10 to 14 minutes long. So this time I'm just going to talk about a few select things that I really like in my collection, and we're just going to go based off of that. Because, yeah. Just gonna get this out of the way. The Yamori stuff. Yeah, I have both the Yamori official soundtrack CD and the official fangamer release of the game. Have I finished the Switch version yet? No. Am I glad that I just own it? Yes. I don't regret any of my purchases. I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts. So it's yeah. At some point, I do want to go ahead and collect every other physical version of the game, the PS2 versions of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the PSP version of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, stuff like that, you know. Now, for now, the only thing I have outside of the remasters and Melody of Memories on Switch is the 3DS, the original version of Dream Drop Distance, which is basically the way I've been playing it. Yeah, I could just play it, the HD version, but like, I don't know, I find some novelty in playing Kingdom Hearts on the go that isn't the god-awful cloud versions, you know. The Celeste CD box set. Yeah, apart from me just really liking Celeste's soundtrack, more importantly, stuff like the more intense level themes from the later sections of Resurrections where you're being chased by Battlein and Scattered and Lost. I don't know. The soundtrack is just amazing. I do wish it came with the B-sides, but you know what? It's fine because what it comes with is still really good. 3 whole discs with soundtracks from the entirety of the game minus the B-sides, but it also comes with some really nice artwork from the box itself to the sleeves that the discs are contained in, and a nice little booklet that comes with excerpts from Lena Raine themselves on how they composed each of the songs and what they mean to them, as well as some nice and cute artwork that is found inside the booklet itself. Now we get to my favorite part of the collection, my outsourced games. To my Kirby Planet Robobot copy that is essentially what's referred to a world version, which is essentially just the English copy of the game, but made so it's sold in places like Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Singapore, which I find really nice and really, you know, neat that other people from other countries can experience fantastic games like Kirby. And sticking with the 3DS library, we also have my Japanese copy of Yokai Watch 3. See, if I were to buy the English version of the game, I would have to sell my liver twice, and I still wouldn't have enough money for it. So I went with the cheaper option and got the physical version for Yokai Watch 3 Sushi. Luckily, I managed to snag Yokai Watch 3 on the eShop, so I usually just have this just for completion's sakes. And lastly, my European copy of Splatoon 3, which, hey look, it has the same green mark as the Kirby Planet Robot. The funny part about this one is that I didn't necessarily get out of my way to get a European copy per se. For Kirby and Yokai Watch 3, yeah, Kirby because it was a cheaper way to get Kirby Planet Robobot. Oh, as cheap as I can get it nowadays. And Yokai Watch 3, yeah. But for Splatoon 3, I straight up just went to Amazon, went to the Splatoon 3 page, ordered it, and this is the one that I got. And see, I would be fine with it if it weren't for the fact that it looks so weird on my freaking shelf. Huh?
Part 5, dude. There is no more parts. I'm not getting paid enough for this.
And that's that. All things considered, I quite like my collection. My video game collection, of course, alongside all my merchandise and my soundtracks. A lot. This is definitely a hobby that I really enjoy and really admire. And I really like to collect the things not only to support the people who deserve it, except you guys. You guys suck. Burn in hell. The only reason I have these 2 games is because I bought it before the Activision stuff, or because I bought it at a yard sale. But apart from that, I cannot see what becomes of this. I really can't wait until I could get a bigger shelf, and hell, maybe even get my own room in the future. But there's one big takeaway you should take from this video, is that your bank's probably going to be really concerned as to why you're spending a lot of money on a fictional animal. But hey, at least it's a better purchase than NFTs.